I thought I'd just give you a quick tour of the workshop that I'm hanging out in for a couple of weeks. It's coming to an end now, where I'm learning electro-etching from a master, Alfonso, who's been making and printing etchings here by electricity and with no acid for probably about 30 years or more. So I'll just do a quick tour of this place. It's a very lovely workshop, very light. So in through the door, and I'm working down here at the back, so I think Alfonso has his office here as well, as his original office was converted into the room that I'm now staying in, the guest room, which people doing residencies stay in. And this is the desk where I'm working at the back here of the studio, with my computer, my little laptop, and my AxiDraw drawing machine, which I'm making etching plates with. So from the software to the machine, I make images, make plates, and I etch them. Okay, so what else is in this studio? Well, Alfonso's also a painter, so there's a huge easel here with a painting on it, and all his painting stuff is here. This is a UV machine, which I haven't seen in use, but it's for exposing photo sensitive plates, which is another process that I like a lot. Here's a little oven for hardening ground on plates where the ground needs to be heated for a bit. These are the drying sheets which you put your prints in, which printmakers will know well. Some paintings on the wall there. Here's a set of drawers full of paper, lots of paper here, another desk. Here's an ink rolling station with a brayer. This is where we put the ground on with the roller in this station. And then here, this is the this is the inking station for plates. So here's a couple of my plates sitting here from the last few days, which have been inked and printed. This one hasn't. This is this has been printed. They've all been printed. A messy sort of place with some ink sitting here. This is the press, a lovely big press where I'm printing my plates. This is what I need in France. Very simple, but very effective. Okay, there's a little workbench here with some woodworking tools and all sorts of pliers and spanners for all the bits and pieces that you need to do about the place when you're an artist and you like inventing things. In here, but it's locked, is a storage room. And this is the wet area with a sink and a workspace for cleaning plates off. And then this is the electro-etching area. So, Alfonso has a huge tank, which you can see along the back here, with two sides to it. On this side, it's full of copper sulfate for etching on copper plates, and on this side it's full of zinc sulfate for etching on zinc plates. This is Alfonso's very large DC generating machine, which he's used for this very big tank here. But we haven't been using that because this tank really is for when there are several people etching at the same time. So we're using a much smaller and nicer setup, which I'm going to replicate at home, which uses this little DC unit here, and these trays of the solution. So this blue one, and if you remember this from school, this is copper sulfate. Now in this tank at the moment is my large plate that I'm doing a two plate etching at the moment. So there's a connection here to this copper rod, which goes underneath the plate and transmits the current to it there. And then you'll see on top of above the plate, hanging in the liquid, is this stainless steel grid, which is the opposite pole, I can't remember which is which, for the etching. And what is happening in this tank at the moment is that the ions from the my plate, where it's exposed to the liquid, are being lost, which is making a groove in the plate. And then they are being attached. The same number of ions are being attached to the stainless steel grid at the same time. So it's not a direct exchange, but it's etching the plate, and I'll show you that later. It's beautiful. This is a tank that's been used for zinc plates, a smaller tank, and it's exactly the same process, only it has zinc sulfate in it and not copper sulfate. This is one of the two plates, the pair of the one that's in the copper sulfate at the moment. So this was drawn by my drawing machine yesterday and etched. And then the one that's in the tank is basically the background. There's a sky, it's a sort of a landscape, very abstract. I'll show you all that later when I'm printing it. Something very interesting here. So this large tank, these two large tanks, copper and zinc, this is the anode, I think, that Alfonso made first, copper plate with holes cut in it for etching with. It's a beautiful object. I don't think he uses it anymore because he's invented a much more efficient method, which is to use the stainless steel grid. And this is the zinc version of the same thing. But these are hanging here and they are just beautiful objects, I think. I really like being in this workshop. The view is beautiful. The atmosphere is beautiful. If it was mine, I would have work hanging on this huge wall, because one of the things that's been missing always from my life for years is walls. Storage space up there, and look at that view. It's just lovely. What a place to work. This is my last day